Welcome to another episode of Going Hot. Today we have a Ruger and a Hornady round. Going Hot! Well, here we are with another episode of Going Hot. Today we're going to be shooting a Hornady XTP 38 special 158 grain bullet through this Ruger Match Champion. Here's our rutabaga in question. I'm afraid this is going to be the last rutabaga, guys. I had trouble even pulling it out of the ground. The temperature right now is 14 degrees. A balmy 14 way up north near the Canadian border. Let's get this guy clad. Yeah, get him clad in his blue jean outfit. Get a bullet through him and see what we got. Going hot! Let's see what we got here. Well, there's the rutabaga in question. We kind of caught him on the edge there, kind of nicked him, but he went straight through. He might survive with a little bit of oven time. Well, look at that. 800 feet per second, 158 grain, 38 went through the rutabaga and went through 2 bottles of water before it hit the last one. And it even pierced the last one, ruined my bottle of water. Yeah. Here's the entrance wound, not much, and there's the exit. And here you have it, the expanded bullet. Now that I've done that, let's go back to the shop and look at it, because, yeah, it's a little cold for me today. Well, here we are back in the shop, and I'm glad I am, because, yeah, it was, frankly, a little cold for me out there. Today we are shooting Jack's Match Champion 4.2-inch barrel, stainless steel gun, Novak fixed sights. The front sight was originally a fiber optic sight, which the fiber optic rod's been removed and it's been filled in and painted black to make a black target sight. Really works out well for getting those precise shots. It's a 6-round cylinder in this firearm, 357 Magnum, but of course we're shooting a 38 today. We're shooting the Hornady custom XTP jacketed hollow point 158 grain bullet that would come out of the barrel by their reporting at 800 feet per second. I'm going to show you their little chart in the back. You can freeze it and look at it if you want. This has been here, as you can see, 12/16/1994 is when I bought this. Thought it would be fun to shoot it and see how it does, so we could see if it expands or not. We could put an end to that if they do expand when they come out at 800 feet per second, which I'm willing to bet this came out a lot slower than 800 feet per second. And here it expanded. You'll notice it pedaled quite a bit, and the expansion really doesn't amount to much more than a 1/16 of an inch. But from pedal to pedal on the largest portion, it measured 1/2 an inch expanded. So it did what it advertised it would do. It flattened out and expanded. Let you see it that way. So you can't really complain about that. It did what it was supposed to do, and we had decent penetration. Went all the way through that frozen rutabaga and through 2 bottles of water. and pierced the third. So for a 38 special, it's not really a scientific test by any means, but given the other videos we've done with the other different rounds, I think that was fair penetration for a 38 special. And part of that's probably because it had 158 grain, and so it had some momentum behind it, some weight. But I think what I'll do next week is I found a box of Silvertip 38s that I used to carry in the Airweight J-frames that are plus P. And I think that might be interesting to do that next week and compare it to this. So that's what I'm going to do for next week. You want to tune in and see what it's a lighter bullet. And I think it's a 110 grain bullet. We'll see what that does on penetration. And of course, I think it's going to expand nicely. We'll see the expansion and compare the two bullets and see if that does a better job or not, or what it does. I thought that might be interesting. But, when you get down to it, for a 38 at 800 feet per second, I don't know how you can complain about this. Not saying you might not be better choices to use. And again, it depends what you're using for. And in that case, it was for a scenario where you really had to be concerned about overpenetration, and it was a backup firearm. And so it was kind of a specific deal. And so this is what I ended up with, this or those other rounds that were 158 grain that were semi-jacketed hollow points, soft hollow points, which we'll probably try one of those too down the road, and compare them all. Well, there you go, guys. There's the results from shooting that 24-year-old round. Pops Quest did the math for me on that one. I'm glad he did, because quite frankly, my brain has not been working this week at all. Yeah, it's been pretty pathetic. So, thanks for tuning in this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Going Hot. Till next time, from Mr. Holster and Jack, go out and stay safe.